All right, sweet. We're live. Let's make sure you guys can hear me. All right, sweet. We're live. I'm just trying to figure out how to send the stream out here. There he is. All right, sweet. Guys in the WAP, if you message me, just message me in the live stream just in case I miss it, okay? Because I have the video up for the live stream. So if I don't respond in the WAP, it's just because I'm focusing just on the charts. All right, guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. UNH stock. What a move. What a move. Warren Buffett has bought 270 up to 300. That's a 10% move right there. Loving it. Loving it. It's awesome. 10% move. We have shares in both accounts. Just posted a video on them as well. It's a new one. We got them in Robinhood. We got them in Fidelity U2 portfolio. We're up pretty good on this. This is excellent. Quick little thing here, just so you can see how do you trade these bullish trends. Now I'm just holding shares long term, but notice this 9 EMA, the red line, and notice the VWAP. It was just trading, bouncing off of the 9 EMA right here, indicating if you missed this, you could have bought right here around 285. You had a nice bounce right there, showing bullish momentum, continuously riding this 9 EMA. Beautiful, excellent run right there. This is so nice to see. We have some actual positive news on UNH. When you look at this stock, it has sold off from 602 all the way down to $234, a 60% pullback for a big cap company. That's wild. It's wild to see. So just want to show that out there. Crazy how this this stock has been just battered and beat, and now we are starting to finally see some momentum here. I think with this Warren Buffett news, this could be a nice little catalyst for them. Anyways, so let's get into some stock levels, what I'm looking at. There are certain things that I think we need to be very cautious about. And what we noticed with UNH is it really back tested right here around this $268 level. This is definitely a level you need to keep an eye on. Now, for those of you that are buying up here at 300, I don't think that there's much to worry about yet. I just want to show you, obviously, we have the $300 psychological support resistance right there. That's a resistance level that we can clearly see. But if we can maintain this, if we can get above 300, the next stop that you need to be careful of is going to be this $326 to $328 range. That is something you need to watch out for. So if you are day trading this or holding long term, it's good just to know your levels. If we get above this $300 level and we hold and we get a push up, look for the consolidation. This is where people are going to start taking profits around 326, 330 for that push back down. Now, Buffett bought, that's very strong news, positive catalyst right there. But you have to watch, $300 is a resistance level, support level down at 282 now in between this trading zone. So now we are trading within different zones. And as you can see, if 300 rejects, I'm going to be looking for a buy around 280 to 283 for consolidation, retest back up at 300. So those are the levels I'm watching. Let's see what we get with UNH. This is where we're at right now. So we blasted up 270 up to 300. Let's see if it trades within this range of 282 to 300. If it breaks above that and continues momentum, look for consolidation up at $328 per share. Definitely something to keep an eye on. What I want to point out is you'll notice when you look at like the overall indexes like Qs, We are trading at this point of inflection up here. We're at the highs of this long-term trend on a 5-year chart. You just have to be careful. Definitely be cautious because the last 5 days we've been rejecting. 583 has rejected. It is still technically in a bullish trend, but make no mistake about it. Is this where the turning point is, where we start getting some pullbacks? Because right now we're in this steep trend line. And once this breaks, I think we're going to finally see some actual bearish momentum coming in. PPI data today came in hot. And this is something that if you're going to go long and keep trying to trade this bull market, you got to pay attention to cues. Overall NASDAQ, overall SPY, make sure the momentum is still moving up. You know, just because we got this big UNH move, it's not going to control exactly, you know, Apple, Tesla, etc. So just be cautious when you're trading the cues. Make sure that your individual stocks, if they're moving higher, that your cues are making highs as well. You want to make sure the NASDAQ and the SPY are trading with you, because make no mistake about it, on the 5-year trend, look at this. Look at the RSI. The RSI right here is trading at 67 on the 5-year chart. If you look on the 1-year chart, we're even higher. Go on the 1-year chart, we are up at 68.85. So something to definitely watch. Be cautious with that. We are still bullish, but I am definitely trading with a little more caution now that we are near highs. You know, this isn't year to date where we were in April at $400 per share. You know, it is not that long ago, from April to August, that even the overall ETF has moved 43%. So just be cautious. Just want you to be aware. It doesn't mean you don't need to buy. I still do my weekly buys in my YouTube portfolio, but when it comes to my day trading accounts, I'm very cautious and seeing, is this trend on the 1 month, is it going to break? So definitely something I want to bring up to you guys, because if it does pull back, we got to look for potential support areas. And with QQQ, we're going to have to see, is this 570 level going to hold up? I want to break down just the overall market, guys, and then we'll go into the individual equities. Looking at the SPY, which is the S&P 500 for newer traders. This is why you dollar cost average over time. Look at this chart, just straight to the moon. It's probably on Mars at this point. But now what we need to do is look, okay, we're at $650 almost for this psychological level. Definitely take a look on that, take a peek. Nothing wrong with dollar cost averaging, but this trend line, just like the Qs, will be tested. And when it breaks, we definitely will see some more downside, and we'll have to see where is support going to land. Now, there definitely is a lot of FOMO out there. It does seem like everybody keeps buying. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin, you look at ETH, XRP, all crypto, it is bouncing. It continuously making new highs right now. So right now the market is definitely getting a little overzealous, but that's okay. We're just going to try to keep running it up, as Jay Young says. We're going to run it up. So here we go. So if you get a pullback on the SPY, your first test for that level is definitely going to be $638 per share to see if we'll consolidate and then bounce. I wouldn't anticipate, you know, any different. If we get pullbacks, they're healthy. We're still bullish. Next, I want to look at SMH. This is the semiconductor VanEck ETF. Now, looking here, you have multiple consolidation touch points here, right around $285 per share. That's a nice point right there. Looking here, $300 is a resistance. It did test it twice. Looking on the 5-day, we have two spots that have dropped. 302, false breakout. Again, 302, false breakout. When I'm looking at SMH, I'm thinking about NVIDIA. I'm thinking about AMD. I'm thinking about any semiconductor stock, MU, etc. So now, looking at NVIDIA, you know, you had that amazing buy opportunity in April at $89. Kudos to you guys. You doubled your money if you bought there. Now, looking at it, we are doing similar to what SMH is. SMH was 302. It was having some consolidation. If SMH is going to continue higher, this stock, NVIDIA, is going to lead the way. So I just want you to be cautious. Just be aware of your levels. You want to be a defensive trader. You want to think, where is the obvious short zone? Where are short sellers trying to take a position. They're trying to look for entries that have clear rejection points. You have it right here at this level 183. Again right there, again here, again right there. Now, if this continues to start failing, these are lower highs indicating a point of reversal. Next, I want to bring up AMD. I want to go through the semiconductors real quick because the reason I want to do this is you can see that they are starting to top out a little bit. It doesn't mean that it's not going to make higher highs, but you want to see these levels break. You want to see it go higher before you start buying at 186, 180 on AMD. If it goes up here and breaks above 186, we can look for that consolidation and then that push higher. That's that infamous break and retest everybody talks about. The resistance is very obvious. Exactly. So Manning, but for newer traders, they might just be thinking, let me buy at the highs. I don't like seeing when people say, oh, I'm bag holding, they buy up here, 173, and then they hold all the way down to 76. We got to make more traders aware that just because people are FOMOing in doesn't mean it's the time to buy. So just be cautious, know your levels, look for the support zones that are coming in on AMD 167. Next, I want to look up AVGO, Broadcom. This stock making higher highs, looks beautiful on this trend, continuously following this 200 EMA average. If you're looking for pullbacks, I'd be looking for entries as long as your SMH ETF is holding up around this area 296, but strict stop losses with this. All right, next let's take a look. I was day trading Walmart, believe it or not. They have an earnings in 7 days. And I do think we still need to pay attention to this level. Now, there was news of Amazon opening more grocery stores, 3,500 in the chain, caused this rejection, 104 down to 100. Now, if we retest 99 to 99.5, I will be a buyer at these levels, but my strict stop loss will be below 98.5. That's what I'm looking for with these guys. So definitely be aware. Walmart had making higher highs, but let's see if it retests just to confirm the $100 level. It hasn't really moved. If you look at it today, it barely moved. It's trading from 100 up to like 50 cents up, so it's not really moving. So we got to give it a chance to make up its mind where it's going to go. Intel stock making big news with they have a meeting at the White House, and after that news was, sometimes it just feels like it's almost planned. It was booked right at 1540. There was the news, boom, up 10% in the after hours. That's Intel for you. Very interesting how we had news from Trump talking about with the CEO, and now they're meeting together, and look at that. Anything he talks about, now they're meeting in the White House. It is getting pumped. If you're going to look out for these levels, Intel stock is a very tough stock to trade, but we have this chart to look at on the 1 year. We can see that we have $25 per share is a heavy resistance point. Just want you guys to be aware of this. So if we continue to go higher, right now we're at 24.90. Watch for that 25 to 25.2 rejection. The news, until they talk, this might be a sell the rumor, buy the news, whatever it is. Buy the news, sell the rumor, etc., whatever it is. Next, I wanted to bring up another stock that I've been looking at. It's so nice to see this. We've been buying this on the WAP and the YouTube channel. Just you could see the recommendations that we've had, having the investing community. Everybody's been talking about buying this stock in the 250s, 260s. It's nice to see this come to fruition, and what a beautiful play. We're at 300 now. Love it. Yeah, Walmart. Yeah, I think what you're talking about is correct. I mean, when it comes to Walmart, if we can get 100, if this level breaks, I like the idea of buying right in this zone. This would be the safer entry, and I definitely think this is possible for the reason that you have Walmart earnings in a few days. Earnings next week. So with that earnings, if we have a negative earnings or we pull back for whatever reason, it's definitely not far-fetched to think we can't pull back 6-7%, and that could be the entry to get back into Walmart. So I'm not against that idea as well. So definitely those are your levels to watch. You can see it clear as day. Take a screenshot, put it on your refrigerator, put it on your ceiling above your bed. Watch 99.5 to 95. Those are the levels that you're looking for. Tesla stock, Everybody's so bullish on Tesla. Go on X. Everybody's talking about it. It's going to 500. It's going to 500. Guys, if you watch my channel, you will see that I day trade Tesla all the time. I love day trading Tesla, but I'm not going to be foolish and think, hey, we're making all-time highs. We have a clear rejection at this $350 level. You need to be realistic about this stock. If you day trade Tesla, you can run in big drawdowns. You could be buying up here at 488, pulling back 50% down to 250. You have to be very careful trading this stock. I love trading Tesla, but let's be honest, their earnings, when it comes to their numbers, aren't the best. And it all relies on autonomous vehicles, etc., and the robots. And I'm all about it. I got long-term shares in my YouTube portfolio, but I maintain that portfolio allocation to maintain that risk because you don't want to put all your money in one stock. Now let's break it down to, let's go down on the further chart, 1 month. This was a point of support here, and we are starting to be struggle city here. It is holding on. Tesla's trying to hold on to 334, 333. If it can hold on to this level, okay. But if we do snap this 330 level, I think it's very clear that we are going to see a breakdown to $320 per share if we break down to here. If we cannot hold that 330 level, be cautious. Stop loss on Tesla all times, man, and I agree with you. Unless you're holding the long term like I am in the YouTube and you're dollar cost averaging, then you welcome these dips. You start buying in, that's fine. But definitely be cautious. 320, 321, that's what I'm looking for with this. I want to get into Tesla again, but I just want a further pullback. I don't want to buy knowing that 1 month ago we were at 297. Tesla had a massive, it was great that they rejected 334, which is obvious. You could see it right over here. But double bottom, 297, bounce up to 350. That's a 15% return. I just want to see a nice little healthy pullback. Let's pull back here to 320, 6-7% pullback. Nothing wrong with that. Maintain our bullish position, get back in around 320. Let's see if we can start scalping in this range. Get that year-to-date portfolio on the YouTube channel. Try to get that up to $100,000 in gains on the year. That would be excellent. We got to talk about the elephant in the room, Chipotle stock. I actually just had Chipotle for dinner today. Looking at Chipotle, trying to bring them up one burrito at a time. $58 year to date, all the way down to $41. That's a 30%. I'm not adding Uber. We're going to go over Uber because I got to show you Uber. We're going to go over Uber. Don't worry. So $41 is holding up. We do have some candles forming that show potential momentum, but on the 1 month, we're rejecting the 200 EMA. I got to see it get above that. It's really more about, for me, to get into this stock, to think that they are truly starting to reverse. I kind of wanted to see them get past $45 per share, even 47. I feel when I look at these guys on the 5-year chart, I understand why people are buying it. I mean, you have points of bouncing right here. It bounced again right there. And now it makes sense that it would bounce at this level on the 5-year chart. So I think the safer way is what Jay Young is talking about when it comes to options. I'm just trying to figure out what is the best option to do. Let me bring up my Robinhood account. Let's just see, typing in CMG, looking at some of these option plays that we think are good. Jay Young, if you can, just tell me what strike price you think is realistic, what you're putting in. I'm going to bring it up on this as well. Let me just, I'm on the Robinhood app. Sometimes I struggle to use this app because I'm so used to Fidelity. So let's see what we can find over here. Let's bring this over here so you guys can see it. And let me bring this here. Let me just unlock this screen. We're going to bring Robinhood. We're bringing the hood over. And I got to transfer more money in this. We're up on UNH. If you just watched my previous video on Robinhood, I'm sorry, not just Robinhood. If you just watch my previous video in general, you will see that I have UNH total in here as well. And looking at some of these calls, I just feel if we buy far out, we definitely have a chance. I like to do further leaps out because the reason I do so far out is because I'm trying to avoid theta, which is the most evil guy pretty much when it comes to buying your options and decaying it. So we definitely got to look into an option play on this. And what I'm looking for is, let me see here. Let me just go through this here. I want calls on this, but the strike price, let's just see what $50 gives us, because that's a realistic move that I think that we could find on this. Let me see. But this is something that we've been discussing in the WAP, trying to find out what is the best entry for Chipotle here. You want to buy a 45 strike? This guy, he would buy a 45 strike. Let me see here. Here we go. So you're buying calls on this at 45. Yeah, these are going to be expensive though for people to buy. So if we were to buy this, and this is far out. I mean, this is June 18th. 2026, 520. Is that what you're looking at? What's your expiration? So I definitely be looking at something like this. We got to be cautious. We're gonna make a video breaking down what we're looking for here. I think we're gonna have to juice this down a little bit if we're gonna want to get a cheaper price here. Let's go to January. Let's see, 4 or 5 months out. Let's go to $45. Make this more affordable. Here you go. So $300. Right here, 3.35 times it by 100, $335. You're in this call right here. What's your expiration though? See, he's already making plays. If you join my WAP, you'll see Jay Young is always playing a ton of options. He's a big options trader apparently. Loves the options. Oh, November 21st. Let's just see. Let's just do the one he's in real quick. Let's just see where he's at here. So it's 99 days till expiration. He's in the 45 call option right here. So $264 this will cost, because you have the right to buy 100 shares, right? What do you got, like 2.5 as your cost basis right now? He paid $290. So he paid $290. So he paid almost $300 for this. Not bad. And now he's got a little time on his side, which is good. But you just got to be careful. You got to watch the delta, and you want to watch the theta. The theta is the killer here. But I'm probably going to enter this with you, just because, you know, we're in the WAP together. We got to do this. All right, guys, let's get into this now. Let's go over some of the levels. If you're looking at that 45 strike, I think it's very clear as why he chose the $45 strike. If you see, when you have this massive drawdown from 53 down to about $45, you can see we retested it right around here and then failed. So he's looking for a move back up to here. What you have to be careful with this option play is, we need this to move a lot faster because he only has 99 days, and his break even is gonna have to be a little higher if it doesn't get there in time, because his break even will move up probably to $48, $47, etc. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. We'll definitely go over that, see what are the options we have for that. I gotta talk about XRP. I guess XRP is selling off because, oh yeah, look at that. This is all within the same day. 323 down to 308. I'm looking to add some more, but not yet. I'm looking for 270. Crypto's been going crazy. I look at this as we just finally had, this is a higher high, and then this is a lower high forming right here. If we can start to move down, what I like about this is you can see the trend forming right here, creating this wedge that we are trading in. So I want to see, are we going to consolidate a little more? And then if we are we going to just consolidate like this until the breakout, whether lower or higher? That's what I'd like. All right, next, want to check out, we did Tesla already. I'm not even going over stocks like Meta. I mean, this is crazy. You have this nice bull flag up here. It's still making higher highs. Just look at it. If it breaks 800, it's going to keep going. We're not trading stocks up there, so there's no reason for us to really review it. Let's go over. This is the WAP stock here, which is everybody holds pretty much BBAI. This is a stock that we're all looking at, definitely considering what could be bought here. BBAI had a beautiful bounce off 470, and I'll admit I choked on this. I didn't buy the when it had its earnings, it sold off. I was tempted to buy it, and then we just didn't do it. So we missed that opportunity. And I know a few members of the WAP got into this, so that was good. 4.8 all the way back up to 5.8. That's a 25% move right there, which is excellent. It's incredible how some of these option plays can really pay off. Hold on, let's see here. There we go. So just like, it's amazing how somebody's, yeah, he's up 32% on this. You want to go over BMMR? Beautiful. Guys, if you were trying to figure out how to chat, you just have to subscribe and you'll be able to send a message in the YouTube channel. BMMR, where is this right now? This trading at $60 per share. This ran up. This is like, sometimes he's got balls to steal, this guy. From June, it was $4. It just ran all the way up to 160 on BMNR. And now we're pulling up to here, looking at this level here. So definitely be cautious here. There's definitely a point of resistance right up in here at $70 to $75. Definitely watching these levels. Let's see if we do break above this. Right now, it looks like we're starting to fade. So that is definitely a possibility when it comes to this. All right. BBAI is a stock that I want to keep getting in, but right now I see this little flag forming and it looks a little bearish to me. It's got to break above this. Right now, it's funny because it looks like a bull flag if you just got rid of this candle. You just looked at it like that. But you can't ignore this big red candle at $7. Tom Lee. Yeah, Tom Lee we trust. What other stocks can we take a look at? I just want to look at ETH, man. ETH is incredible. It's finally selling off a little bit. I mean, 4,700 down to 4,500. If you trade ETH, I mean, I have shares of this in the Gemini crypto portfolio. You can get the referral link in my description of my YouTube channel if you want to just get a couple extra dollars. But it's really nice seeing this finally start going up. And we can thank Tom Lee, BNR. He's pumping it up. He's pumping the stock. And that's definitely good for us. Nike stock is another stock we own in the YouTube portfolio. I don't want this to go unnoticed. We're, buying some shares in the 50s and the 60s, and we're starting to finally get close to this breakout period. I just think it's important for you to be aware that we had this touch point up here around 117, resistance right at the $78, $77, and it's definitely something to keep an eye on. If we can get above this $80 per share, I think that we can start moving forward. We can start moving higher. And for points of consolidation here, you have consolidation at $70 per share. So definitely be cautious. Yeah, it definitely takes a little while, especially, I'm not sure if you're referring to Nike, but if you're referring to Nike, it definitely is taking a little bit to get up here. But if we can get above this level at $80 per share, I think we're going to finally see a move, which is realistic, back up to $100 per share. So Nike just needs to prove a little bit longer. Let's get above $80 per share. They need a good earnings is what they really need. Or they need less of this tariff talk, and then we'll have a move back up to potential $100 per share. That's 32%. So the tariffs have really killed Nike. It's definitely something to watch. Visa is on my long-term portfolio list. Right now, I'm not buying any shares. I'm waiting to enter, but I'm being very patient. I might have to wait 6 months to a year to finally get a position because I am waiting for 275. So that might never come, and if it doesn't come, it's fine. When you look at it, I'd be very strict with my long-term entries. I need a 28 to 30% pullback. That's what I'm looking at. So just be cautious right there. I haven't heard any news with APLD, but it is pumping. APLD is pumping. It's back at $15 per share. Year to date, $3 up to $15. I don't know if you guys saw any news on this. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about this. This is the elephant in the room right now. CoreWeave. We were talking about this today in the WAP. Guys, I was calling out $100 per share, right? I totally forgot about this stock. I mentioned it during the day, and I was saying, hey guys, $100 per share has potential here. And this is what we were looking at the time. It was at 100. I was like, all right, we might have to think about buying this just for the whole dollar, half dollar entry. Plus, you can look in the past and see that $100 had a little bit of support. This is what I was looking at the time. And so I was like, okay, this might work. Now, what's happening though is it's trying to reclaim 100 because it just broke down from 94, definitely sold some guys out. And now look at this potential entry that you have here. So I definitely I'm definitely interested in CoreWeave. If it can hold $100 per share, I might take a position in this. We just pulled back, when you look at this, $187 in June 18th. You know, it's only, what is it, August like 14th or something? Pull back here to 145%. 45% pullback. Definitely interested in seeing, are we going to start holding that level? If it can reclaim $100 per share, I'm definitely going to look to scalp this and then look for that push up higher. Up to about $120 per share is really where I'd be looking for the first resistance point if we can hold that level. So interesting with CoreWeave. TSLL, this is the Tesla 2x bull. You just got to be careful trading this guy. I like to look at him when Tesla really sells off. If we get Tesla to sell off back to 300, we're down to $10 in TSLL. I'll definitely look to be buying some shares of them. And then now you have C3AI. This is another popular stock within the WAP. If you look here, 1 month, we have the resistance all the way up here at $21. So if it starts to run, that'll be a clear rejection point right there. It's holding the $17 mark. $17 is definitely a point of support. It's held it right in this range up in here. So we're definitely going to be cautious. If we get a bounce up in this 17 range, I will definitely be checking this out to take a peek right around here and then push back up. That's what I'll be looking for. If CoreWeave goes to $70, man, that would just be amazing. That's what we need. We need that in our lives. I mean, I don't mind waiting a little more, but $70 that's a steep pullback, man. I mean, I don't even know where you even coming with that level, but I'm assuming you're just drawing it straight from this guy, which the high of this bad boy is $63 to $64. So we'll just leave that mark and see if it comes later in the future. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh, let me see that. Boom shakalaka. All right, guys, let's go over a few more stocks, then we'll end the live stream and we'll get ready for tomorrow. Looking at MU, we have support around this 112. I know this is another stock that we like to trade. You got to be cautious up in here. Like I said, it's up to SMH to make highs, break above 300, 302. And I think you're right. Let's just set the alerts for CoreWeave, call it from there. But 130, beautiful. If we get above that, fine, that's great. But right now I'm looking at his rejection. Right now it is starting to curl up. So we'll see if we do curl up above this, but be cautious. MU can have breakouts, but it can also have drawbacks too. So let's see where it goes from there. All right. Let me see. Anything else left? I'm just trying to see this. We covered all the bases. We covered the news at UNH stock. Yeah, this looks... Target is forming like this massive, it's not really a bear flag, but it's in this consolidation here, and if it doesn't break through this, it's not gonna, it's got to stay in this trend, and it's got to break out of this trend. So if it does break $100 per share, we're gonna sink down probably to $90. Yeah, let's check out JPM. I remember I was buying shares of them like 114. And it's just crazy because now they're already at 294, 300. Sometimes you just you don't realize like you're buying stocks at great entries. So JPM right now, looking on the long-term chart, you have this line, this line, this line. Obviously the red we're selling, accumulating more in the yellow and blue. I would be cautious if you're going to buy long-term. See if you can get entries around 270, 272. Just wait for a pullback. See what we can get. That's what I'll be looking for with JPM. And it's just crazy. Apple's 235. It's starting to approach the top of this channel. It's nice like this, which is great. So let's definitely be cautious watching that. Newsmax, just wanted to bring this up to you guys. You can see Newsmax is really starting to see better days. I mean, this is sold off big time from... Why does this keep doing this? Hold on. Let me reset it. Reset the chart. It sold off from all the way up to $16 down to $11. This could make lower lows here. And I'm trying to find the absolute low on this thing. It's actually struggling to do this. It looks like $11 per share is the low of the lows. If this goes down to $5, I'm going to be interested in doing this. Let me see. Starboard value. He raises star share. Oh, Pfizer. Nice. Let me bring that guy up. Thanks for bringing that stock up for us. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, so Pfizer is an interesting company. I mean, it really trades well when it comes to you have like biogenetic things going on or COVID vaccines, etc. This is definitely an opportunity that I have looked at Pfizer, but if I'm incorrect, I do believe their financials, I believe they are bleeding a little bit of money here. I'm just looking at some of the revenue here. You can see on June 29th of 2025, this is Q2, and then Q1 was March 30th, 2025. Looking at their total revenue, it did increase in Q2, which is good, 10%, 13.7 billion to 14.67 billion. But you also got to look at, this is the number that comes out to me, is the operating expense. How much money are they burning right here? 3% last quarter, negative 21%. Definitely something to keep an eye on here, checking this out. So I like Pfizer, and I think if you buy this company, there's nothing wrong with that. But you just got to look at what are potential drawbacks for this company. And I think what could happen is if they are burning cash flow, etc., it might pull back a little bit more. But how much more do you really want? I mean, it's holding this 5-year low. So if you're going to accumulate shares, nothing wrong with that. Collect your divvy in the meantime, call it a day. But if it breaks $21, you might be headed a little lower. You want to look at what? SMCI? You like SMCI? Oof, SMCI. This company, I feel like, do they even report their financials? I mean, the last time I remember trading these guys, they weren't even reporting their financials. So that was a little scary. I don't know if and they got dropped by one of the biggest accounting firms too. So that was, for me, that was like, it kind of kept me away from them. I've kind of, been a little cautious with SMCI, been a little afraid to trade them, so definitely something to think about there. SMCI here, taking a quick look. What call options are you looking at here? Your next play, SMCI, you're saying for call options. Are you trying to buy calls on this? Because right now, this looks pretty bearish to me. I mean, this is pulled back $62 all the way down to 45. Just like, please, like, let me know like what you're actually looking at here, because for me this looks pretty bearish. It's consolidating here. If it comes down to $40, sure. What I'd really like to see is $37, $38. You want to start looking for that. I'd be like, okay, maybe potentially, because you have points of bounces at these levels, at least at $37, $40. So I'd be looking into that. That's fine, no issues with that. Guys, it's incredible. The more that UNH, we just keep live streaming, the higher it just goes, up to 300 now. Incredible gains. Yeah, we'll definitely check it out. Guys, Kava is something I want to bring up, because when you have stocks that really sell off like this, what I like to look for is the next short entry. And for me, what I'm doing is I'm just being patient. And I'm looking right here is where we had our previous consolidation, right in this range. This is all consolidation at $73 to $74. If we can get to that level, I'm going to be looking to buy puts on this. So I want to see this. We go up to $73, $74. If we get that consolidation, I make my entry and options play on it, and then look for that push back down. Maybe a $70 put option, etc. That's what I'm looking for when it comes to Kava. What other stocks you guys want, please mention it in the comments below. I appreciate you guys interacting. It's awesome. Appreciate you got a lot more members, which is awesome. And I appreciate you guys signing up. So taking a look at this, Pepsi stock held at 126. Jae-young, you called this out. I remember you typing this into the WAP, and it literally bounced right off 128. You were talking right at it. It was awesome. But I didn't buy any shares, so I didn't make any money from it. But looking on the long-term chart, it is holding. Let's just bring up the 5 years so you can see. Oh, I have to go longer, because this has been like this the entire time. It has just been bouncing up and down, and now it held that 128. If it breaks 150, I could see that being a point where we start to go higher, but 150 could be a psychological resistance. I don't even know what this stock is. What is this? Tapestry? This thing has died. The thing I noticed about Jae-young, he likes to buy the dip. 114 down to $96. Woo. We'll keep it on our watch list, but let's see if we can at least go to maybe $87 per share. Let's go to a point where that we see previous resistance levels on it. That would be nice. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys tuning into the channel for the live stream this late at night. Well, guys in the WAP, just message me there. We'll go over stock levels tomorrow as it's happening. Check it out in the links in the description below. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you next time.